yours. I just be cool, how I be cool. Groove like a G groove. Watch how my feet move. Ay, my heart stop when I seen you. Ay, my stomach drop when I seen you. Ay, can we fall in love again? We not out enough. We got more love again. Rain goes away and pain heals. And Band-Aid solutions ain't gonna cut it. I can't dance, but I can fuck good. When I talk crazy, make you blush good. Now I ain't that pressed to touch. I'm trying to gain your trust. I wanna earn your love. Now I can't dance, but I can fuck good. When I talk crazy, make you blush good. Now I ain't that pressed to touch. I wanna gain your trust. I wanna earn your love. Baby, you had your sizzle. I ain't take long to shoot my shot, don't dribble. Swoop be talking and smooth talk and giggle. I ain't gon' lie, I been sipping a little, but when I sober up, I wanna see what you into. Your favorite color and your favorite item on the menu. And if you smoke, come inside, I got a little endo. And all my old smoothies is assed out like Lizzo, right? With these lies give me peace on earth. With these lies keep me from hurt. Look what I don't, put my knees in dirt. Before I steam this reefer first. Yeah. With these lies give me peace on earth. With these lies keep me from hurt. Look what I don't, put my knees in dirt. Before I steam this reefer first. Good Lord, or whoever above. I'm high. I done tried some new drugs. I cried when I fell out of love. My eyes, will they ever stop pouring? Yeah. Pouring. Right. Why do we run from the truth? Why do we chase lies? Why can't we love ourselves better? Why it feel good to me hurting you? I've been trying to get the words together. As me, I ain't the storm to be weathered. Made my flowers bloom and the petals never wither. My baby's gon' see everything I never did cause I couldn't. But one thing my pops taught me is find your peace and keep it pushing. Real good, no salt and pepper. I'm more seasoned than that. Hate me cause I move on beat to my own groove. Hate me cause you love me and I don't love you. I'm sorry, I mean it. 26, if I spend another year, I might kill. So I'm sorry, I'm leaving. Let's all call it even. This so my daughters can have more than the stars to believe in. We all born for a reason, till we fall like the season. Love gon' keep our hearts beating. Right? With these eyes give me peace on earth. With these lies keep me from hurt. But I don't put my knees in dirt. Before I see these people first.
Powered by
Welcome to episode 51.
Yes, sir.
Of the Table Talk Podcast, the Unanimous Table Talk Podcast. It's your boy Aaron Walk.
Your boy Markion on the building.
Oh yeah, man, we gonna get to it today. This lovely Saturday, the day before Mother's Day.
Yes, sir.
Is Mother's Day tomorrow?
Mother's Day.
Yeah, because it's so weird. My neighbors every year, so dope. We just get this really quick story real quick. My neighbors across the street. You probably seen them.
Yeah, they was deep.
But every Mother's Day, they come over to mother, grandkids, all that. They all come over and they do her yard. They redo her yard for the whole year. So she always keeps up with it and stuff, but they come put the flowers down and mow yard, clean her gutters, do everything that they would do, but they go above and beyond and they get it looking real nice. You know what I mean? So it's always something dope to see. I always tell people, you know,
that's cool.
Tell your mom you love her, man. You know, you never know, you know, how much time, you know, you have with her here on earth. So make it the best I did with my mother as well as you did with yours.
Absolutely.
You know, we had the greatest of times, you know. So just thought I'd put that up there. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers,
happy Mother's
all
Day
the past mothers,
all the mothers,
every one of them, man. Without y'all, none of this is even possible.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
None of this is possible.
Absolutely. And I had mentioned again on an earlier podcast that we did that, you know, a lot of this generation still talk to their mothers.
Yep.
Still confide in their moms. And, you know, moms are important. Moms are important. So are dads. Dads are equally important.
For
but
sure.
today is Mother's Day.
Yep.
And, you know, that bond between mother, daughter, mother, son is just, man, there's nothing like it, man. So, you know, rest up to our mothers.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for all of the good memories and things that we can celebrate.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, it'll be a good day. It'll be a good day. Reach out to your grandmas and even moms who weren't biological. You know, I got a lot of neighborhood
supporters,
moms,
man. Yeah.
baseball team and soccer team moms and school moms and all of that. You know, thank you for the carpools and you know, we had parents this year on our baseball team that had to drive a couple players. So. Just shout out to anybody
who's doing daycare and stuff like that,
nesting and taking care of somebody,
raising
man.
the village.
Absolutely, shout out to you.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got a few things to get into today. Some kind of flow into one another. Some are kind of like real left field.
Pretty positive though today, man. We don't have much. We don't have much death today. We don't have much COVID.
Not at all. Not at all.
Keeping it kind of light, you know, as far as the negativity. So I don't know if that is good for the
sun's out today, man.
The atmosphere is
good.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful day today.
For sure,
man.
Got my voice back a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm feeling a little better.
Drinking that orange juice.
Yeah, man. I did.
Vitamins. You know what I mean?
I literally was sipping orange juice walking in here.
Yeah.
Man, Jalen is with it today. So yeah, good stuff, man.
Oh yeah, man. You know, and for y'all that don't know, we had Pound for Pound came on earlier today. It was a 11:30 show. So anybody that hasn't checked that out yet, make sure y'all go to Pound for Pound MMA podcast on YouTube. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anything you could think of. It's on there with his newest episode. I believe it's episode 40 or 41. 40. Yep. So you guys check that out. But with that being said, let's get into what we're going to start talking about today. Let's start with our first topic. And this one is kind of cool because we talked about this topic when it first started.
Right.
That tells you how long we kind of been doing this thing, which is super dope. But this first topic, SpaceX safely returns 4 astronauts to Earth. Now, and it was half a year ago, the SpaceX rocket lifted off with 4 astronauts, 3 from NASA, 1 from Japan's space agency. They were sitting inside one of the company's Crew Dragon capsules on Sunday. I actually watched this live. I watched this thing come all the way down into the atmosphere, and then it landed into which ocean was that? Do I have that label here? I don't think I did. But they're all safe and sound. They got put on this bigger boat that put the capsule on there, and then they brought them out one at a time. Now, I will say this for anybody that maybe didn't get to see this happen live or understand what's going on. These guys were in space for 6 months. So coming down to Earth, you know what I mean, where there's zero gravity, you know, coming back down, it's a very lengthy trip. Like, they have a heat shield on the capsule when it's coming down and all this kind of stuff. So they had to have stretchers for each of the astronauts, just in case they couldn't walk. I think one had to be, like, put on a stretcher. He was fine. They were all fine, healthy, and good, but it's just, hey, that's different, man.
It's a huge stress on your body. I mean, these people are in tip-top shape prior to going because of that.
Yeah, and you got to get your bones stronger again, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just because of the density and all that.
Then just the adrenaline of coming back into the atmosphere, right?
At a ridiculous rate.
That's got to be like even the toughest and most experienced of people, right? That's got to be just an experience, right? So you get to that bottom
and it's
part.
Uncontrollable until the parachutes kick in, and that's the good thing. That's the good part about it. It's the good part about the science and all these engineers. Shout out to all them at SpaceX with Elon Musk and all those guys. Cool, shout out to them because that stuff is super important. You know, and these guys, they're putting their trust into your hands into doing this the right way. And so far, so good. They've done a great job.
Yep. Yeah, I did not get to see this come back down.
Yeah, it was
but
late
I
at
did-
night. It was a night little type of experience.
Right. It looked like it was like 3 a.m. in the morning, something
Yeah,
like that.
man.
I
Real
saw
late.
him take off, back when they shot out, but
Mhm.
but no, that's cool, man. I'm glad that this was successful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big success. They got a lot of the stuff. I guess that their experiments. They had them in like boxes in the capsule, so they got all those out.
Right.
They were good to go. They look good. So that's a success.
Yeah, that's solid.
But I mean, the main success is they all came back
Oh,
in
yeah.
one piece. You know what I mean?
And
like,
I was my kids were showing me a video, as they do typically explore on YouTube. They find different things, right? So I told you about them finding the baby bird getting raised by the guy,
Yeah.
and they actually were watching some astronauts in space eat different foods with no gravity.
yeah.
So, they got to see like a guy with honey, and like they were eating pudding.
Yeah, how
and,
they were doing that. That stuff was dope.
how they had to kind of hydrate some spinach, and like
Yeah.
it was crazy, but they were like, wow, that's crazy. So
yeah.
some of the stuff these people are doing, man, is really, really cool.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, what? Oh my goodness, I should be ashamed of myself not knowing which shuttle, the one that didn't even make it. It took off and exploded.
The Challenger.
Is it the Challenger?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. There was one pretty much commercial flyer on there. It was a teacher. Remember they had a whole thing about taking someone up into space. A teacher specifically. So
Right.
they had all these teachers try out. Then they got down to like 12, and then from the 12 there was one, and then they had one backup just in case that one couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So that lady made it out of all those people, and she was supposed to go up into space and have lessons with kids live while she was up there, doing experiments.
Wow.
So it's just interesting, and now they do that anyway with just
Yeah.
some of the engineers and scientists.
Sure.
They do it live, and they take you on tours, and they show you
Yeah.
eating it just like your kids saw.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting to see, and just some of the things you got to think about, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, they had 2 failures in that shuttle, I believe. Challenger, and I can't remember the other one's name either, man.
I know which one you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
Yeah, man. Can't remember it.
Yeah.
But that one
But
on
those
landing.
did
Yeah.
both. Yeah, those two.
Sadly. So, hey, man,
Well, and those people were still pioneers, man.
Absolutely, man.
She didn't make it. However, what it took her to even become a member of that flight,
yeah, that's a lot.
was
Especially during
enough,
that time.
Was enough to be applauded for.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
again, that's people that were doing things that are necessary for science, man, and kind of leading the way. I mean, and these people that are doing it now do it for those people.
Oh, yeah,
You know what
for
I'm
sure,
saying?
for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? There's a dedication, I know, for any astronomer that's like, man, I got to do this for the people who did it before us. So it's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I even like reading about like back in the day, because this is what's so curious to me. Like now, like astronomy, space, science, like it's just so natural. We take it for granted, right? But like back when it was literally like people just looking up in the sky like,
Yeah.
this star every night comes up and the moon does this, and I think we're turning as an Earth. Like they was just kind of like
Galileo, I
taking
believe.
stuff down as it, like it was just
Well,
crazy.
people
how,
have to realize this too. Is
like-
back in those days, there wasn't a lot of light here.
Mhm.
Wasn't a lot of things.
Right.
And people have to realize too is the universe is constantly expanding, getting bigger. So some things that they seen is not what we see today.
Right.
But like
Right.
I said, there wasn't a whole lot of electricity, light back in those days. Actually, there wasn't any.
Right.
So when they looked up, they got a really good glimpse of what was going on. Clear skies, no pollution, no anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything was still fairly closer together. For the people that don't know, it's a Big Bang is what they like to call it, but it's still doing the Big Bang. It's still currently. It's just the farther and longer we go on in life, the farther things, are
Right.
away from us here on Earth.
Right. Well, I mean, and the other thing is you can get a good glimpse of the sky pretty much anywhere, but
Yeah.
if you go to a wide open area or some other
country somewhere.
places and it's a nice summer night and it's really clear, man, you'll look up and
You can
be
see
like,
a
oh
lot.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
I remember-
I've never, because there's sometimes I've
Yeah.
looked up and been caught off guard, and I'm like, because I'm a sky looker. I'm one
Yeah.
of them. When they say it's going to be meteorites or, asteroids, I'm looking. when it's gonna be a blood moon or a close or
full moon,
what they call
lunar,
the moon that's close, the super moon.
Yeah.
When it's gonna be super, man, I'm out there, right? I love that stuff. So,
I've been acquiring a new telescope
like,
actually, like the different ones they have now. They have them where they're set up on an app, and if you're looking for a particular something in the universe, you could put it in, and it will move it right there, and boom, you're good.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Yeah,
bro.
man. I've been looking into it. Even in a lot of like photography into like just taking pictures with the telescope. Looking into a lot of that. And it's
cool,
really
man.
not that expensive, man. Because I remember having a telescope when I was younger.
Me too.
But
well, it was my grandfather's,
Yeah.
but had one and used to look at stuff. But man, that was sweet.
Yeah, man, it was cool stuff, big time
Like,
stuff.
I used to go back to class like, hey, I ain't gonna believe what I saw last night.
Yeah,
what?
man.
Look at this. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, that's why I always tell people to go to the conservatory. Anyone they could go to, I tell them to go there because that's a different type of telescope. Observe just different type of everything.
Have you been to the planetarium here in Norwood?
Yeah.
And then I went to Griffith Observatory in California, Los Angeles, man, and that place is so sweet, but just that ain't the Hubble or nothing like that, or like big boy stuff. But they got some stuff where you can see deep off into space. You go
at the right time, you can see some pretty stuff, man. Pretty stuff.
Crazy, man.
Pretty stuff. And while we're kind of talking about it, we'll dive into our next topic.
Yeah.
Which still has to kind of do with space, and that would be. Which happened, what was this, a week ago maybe? And it's kind of funneling in now. But the rocket that carried part of China's new space station into orbit last week is going to fall back to Earth in the next few days. And that day is like today or tomorrow. It was stuck in orbit but decaying, orbiting the Earth every 90 minutes. And it will descend, and we still don't really have an idea, but it'll hit somewhere between New York and New Zealand is what I've seen. So
orbiting every 90 minutes, an hour and a half. Now, that's going very
fast.
A couple days ago when this report came out, but that is moving.
That is super dangerous.
For something to get around the Earth in 90 minutes, people, like it takes 24 hours for the Earth to spin one time.
Yeah.
Right? So 1.5 hours, this thing is around the Earth. That's moving. And it's getting faster and faster as it gets closer.
Yeah, it's almost going 24 times the speed of the Earth. So put that in perspective.
I mean, goodness.
We're talking some crazy speeds, and a big chunk of this shuttle, if you want to call it spaceship.
Now, do you know if what kind of size they're expecting this thing to be by the time it gets, like, obviously it's going to be decaying and breaking down, but how big will it be? Will this be like airplane size when it hits, or is it be a little smaller?
I don't know, man.
It's probably not, because it's probably cylindrical or tubular.
It might be airplane size, probably bigger, honestly.
Semi-truck size, maybe.
Yeah, if you want me to be honest, might be a little bit bigger than that, man.
Let's just hope it hit in the ocean.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know anything about this.
Yeah, look, Jalen's got some stuff pulled up here.
Okay. Yeah, so I think he's got a little bit of kind of what that thing is looking like, and when it let off the actual piece of the rocket. So we'll take a look here. And they just did it the incorrect way. That piece shouldn't be there. It should only be that small little piece. That spot should have been let go a long time ago. That you don't do it right there because you can't track it. That's the whole point of SpaceX and being able to renew and redo their rockets. All that shit gets let go before it even reaches that part of the atmosphere to where gravity will kind of push it back down.
So they just let that off into space.
Yeah. So that's very dangerous. So I don't know if you know about,
because that'll mess around and swing back and break something later.
Yeah. So I don't even know how to explain this, if it's like background cosmic radiation. But that's from like all the past stuff that was there, and it's kind of pushed out. So now let me try to explain this because this is like
this
is rocket science shit.
I'm with the shit. So
You
I
feel
love
me?
it.
So check this out. So this is why this is so dangerous. You have a rocket moving that fast. So we'll just say this. So every time we've gone up into space, there's space. Call it space trash everywhere outside of our atmosphere.
Sure.
Eventually, it's going to get to a point where it starts blocking the sun and everything. That's a long ways away, but we still have to navigate when we go up into space because there's debris, there's old satellites from stuff when we was launching shit up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you know what I mean, all that.
Sure.
So, places like this, the International Space Station that's up in space, sometimes it has to maneuver.
Yeah.
And it does slight maneuvers because if anything, it could be the size of this cap right here, right?
Oh yeah.
It's moving so quick, it could puncture the space station.
Right.
And that would be it.
Right.
So any type of debris is dangerous.
Yep,
So just think about something this small could be that dangerous.
Yep.
Think about something the size of a spaceship.
Or a car, the size of a car or something. Yeah, major damage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Super dangerous.
Yep.
So that's why I think this is super important. This is like alarming that enough people aren't really talking about this enough. Hopefully, it just kind of lands in the ocean somewhere. I mean, I'm hoping for the best.
There's been a land over near Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, or even in the country because what do we say to China after that?
Oh, see,
because this is China.
I almost made a comment a little bit ago, and I had to bite my tongue because I ain't want to come off with, I ain't want to get the death threats tomorrow from Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
but I don't even know what to say. I mean, shit. I'm already trying to chill on the COVID stuff, but if you fuck around and get a spaceship land over here, we might throw hands. Yeah, we might throw hands, bro.
Look, we know it's an international pandemic, but you can't be doing this shit. Y'all already don't give a fuck. It's obvious. Y'all let people do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Man.
And y'all still supposed to be in control. It's supposed to be a communist state, but yet people still doing whatever the fuck and however the fuck they want to do it.
Man.
Because they don't care. So that's one of the reasons why they did it like that. They said, nah, we not going to let it go right here and have to go find it and retrieve it and spend more money. Well, just let it float in space. Not knowing the motherfuckers.
So hold on. So if it just lands in so let's just say this thing lands in the Atlantic Ocean. They don't plan on coming to get it?
I don't think they planned. They didn't. There's no way they did. They had no retrieval. Okay, so check this out. So anytime.
I hope it do land near somewhere. I'm in China ass.
Man. Look. So when a traditional shuttle takes off. So back in the day when the actual space shuttle, the OG shuttles were taking off, they had those two big ass bombs pretty much on the back on the back of it, orange, full of fucking God knows what, all types of different chemicals. And so that thing that releases and that comes and that goes in the ocean and NASA has to go pick that up.
Right.
You know what I mean? China decided not to do that pretty much. The rocket doesn't look like that, but that bigger piece was supposed to been let go and come back into the atmosphere, and then they have to go retrieve it by boat. They chose not to do that. Unless they just released it too late by accident and they were planning on retrieving it. They got to retrieve it, period. It's your property.
That's what I'm saying.
You need to come get that shit
right
now type shit.
Right.
Because if it let's say it lands anywhere on any country.
Right.
How do you feel about that? Are you pissed off?
Man, let that bad boy hit anywhere near here. We shooting off 2 nukes immediately. I don't care what Joe Biden say.
I hope they've contacted you. I hope they've contacted people.
If that thing drop anywhere near here, shoot off 2 missiles immediately.
Yeah, nah, for real, because this is serious shit. Like,
what in the hell?
The size. This is like
y'all trying to have a Boeing 747 just
missile.
drop out of just fall out the sky.
Yeah, this is dangerous shit. Now, could it burn by the time it gets here? Yeah, it's probably gonna do that because there's no heat shield on it.
So it'll just be on fire when it get here.
It's gonna be in mass pieces, dog. It's gonna disintegrate in the sky. Wherever it's going to do this shit at, you'll be able to see this shit.
So you think it might start dropping in little chunks then instead of just one big
it's going to
piece.
have the big piece, but gradually little pieces are going to fall off because you got to remember.
So you might start
you're
having
coming down like
size pieces of metal just dropping.
Yeah, because you're going to have all those flames that are building up. It's going to be burning shit down. Yeah, that's dangerous. There's no way of knowing where that's going to be. They ain't got the science for that shit.
So tomorrow's Mother's Day. just so happened everybody about to be outside kicking it, grilling, and it's about to just be pieces raining.
Let's just
saying,
hope it pushes over into Monday.
China,
then.
I'm watching you.
Hey, no, it's some seriously wild shit, bro.
Yeah, y'all better stop playing around, man.
Yeah, wild. Speaking of wild, let's touch this next topic, man. And this one was kind of like alarming / like this shit can happen anywhere.
Shit was popping.
Boy, so we had Jack Harlow. He was filmed feet away from a deadly shooting in Kentucky this weekend. I think it was for the Derby.
Yeah, he was down
there at the parties and stuff.
His hometown, man.
Yeah, so police have said a woman was found dead from the shooting and a man transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It's unclear what led up to the altercation. I think Jack Harlow was just there.
Yeah. It looked like,
a
little fight or something.
But it was really
out
close to him, man.
to the left of him, to the right of him.
Yeah.
You know, and then, it just pop.
Is the Derby be popping like that? Like, it's only been these past few years I really heard about, like, people going to do things like.
Well, the Derby's, no, so I've been to one, and I kind of got hip. So I used to think the Derby was just what it is, the horse races, right? And
it's like a whole weekend type shit.
Yeah, but no. So the older I got, and the more people I started to talk to and meet, people was like, "Nah, bro, the Derby got a little better." You know what I mean? Hood hopping.
Yeah.
What you mean? They like, man, look, we got the bike gangs go down.
Yeah.
So there'll be a bunch of those groups. They say that some people take like a trailer, an RV, and go down and kind of do like the tailgating thing.
Yep.
So they're like, man, we don't even go to the horse races.
Yeah.
We just chill up in the parking lot drinking and smoking, hanging out, just like we would for a Sunday Bengal game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's lit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had went down with a couple friends. This was years ago, 10, 12 years ago. But no, it was just that, man, kind of a tailgating experience. Now, if you into the horses and the betting and all that stuff, then you want to get inside the action. But, man, if you're just looking to go hang out, have a good time, kind of, single and mingle, it's that atmosphere. You can get it in. So, it's, and then I can imagine kind of the bars and clubs at night would be, I didn't do too much of that when I was there. I kind of just kept it to the the grills and the beers.
Yeah.
But I could imagine that it there's partying all week.
Oh yeah.
So because the Derby's not just a weekend thing. See, some people think it's kind of like a tournament, kind of like, so for example, there's races all week, smaller races, kind of like an undercard type of deal. Then there's a main event, like the Saturday, Sunday deal.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, oh, I'll go down for the weekend. Now, some people do just go for the weekend, but there's horses running all week, man. Just like, like I said, a boxing match or something like that.
Yeah, horse betting shit is real, man. For folks that don't know, it's a serious thing.
Yeah, some people were serious about it. I've seen a little bit of that in action. People with a couple dollars, man.
Yep. I know someone that has a horse. There are races and everything.
That's cool.
They do the betting and everything.
Did you see Breonna Taylor? The horse won. The horse's name is Breonna Taylor.
That's dope.
It's Breonna Taylor's family's attorney, his horse, which I'm sure he has a horse because he's got a ton of money out of certain lawsuits and stuff. But the family was there. She won. It was one of the earlier in the week races. But I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about the name, but I get it, and that's kind of cool. And, maybe some of the proceeds went to the family,
right?
So that's kind of cool. So that was, a win, a small dub that I don't know if people kind of paid attention to, but
yeah, I'm sure he probably got signed off to do that too.
Probably like I said, they were a part of it. They were a part of it for sure. There wasn't no beef. But I thought that was pretty sweet that, there was another, positive thing with her name being able to be, again, talked about, right? I mean,
for sure.
Breonna
Still needs
Taylor,
to be
horse
brought
winner,
up.
So another say her name thing, right? How many places can we put her name? So
for sure.
That's kind of cool.
That's dope, man. That's
kind of cool.
That's what's up. I kind of, we'll end it on that note because I did not know that.
Yes,
good info to know, man. You always come through with the little side note.
I be reading, bro. I'm a reader, bro. I be reading.
All right, man. We'll touch this next topic, and it's just a really quick one. And this is Quando Rondo. And for the people that don't know, he was the one in the altercation where young rapper King Von passed away, was killed. So You know, there's been going back and forth and all this on that social media, la-di-da, talking about he gonna get his because his homie popped him. Well, he was shot at leaving, I think it was, he did a show or something like that, but it left one person hospitalized. Him and his entourage were shot at outside a convenience store in Georgia, and I guess this is right after their show. And shots rang out around 3:20 in the morning on a Sunday, 10 minutes before he had performed. Yeah, earlier. And one man in his entourage was wounded. So I guess this is not over.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't know, man. This is serious shit.
The whole King Von story and the Quando Rondo thing, it's really, really weird.
Because they let the kid out, though, right? The kid that killed him.
Well, it's weird because, so, according to Rondo and what he said, because King Von was not fighting Rondo at the time of the shooting. He was fighting someone else that spilled out into the street. Rondo and his entourage were there. One of Rondo's entourage shot King Von. Rondo claims it was in protection of him just because there was some shit going on, but that wasn't a direct beef thing. Now, to me, it's very odd that, like, I get you trying to protect your mans, but, like, if there was no direct threat, because Rondo wasn't even out there fighting. He was out there, but, like, King Von wasn't fighting Rondo.
Yeah, from what I've seen, he was, and that's the whole reason why.
Was he fighting Rondo?
Yeah, he said he put his hands on him.
Because
he might have. That's where it gets shaky. Like I don't know if he was. It's, from what I heard, it was he put his hands on him. He was trying to beat him up, and then his friend came over and.
Well, it was kind of weird because I know at the very end of the very end of the video that I saw after Vaughn was shot, it looked like Rondo was there, kind of trying to console him, like trying to like, and then he got up and took off running. Like, I don't know, man. It was a weird. Again, the video's very weird. Yeah, it's hard to tell what's
King
going
Von's
on.
Manager is giving his side of the story on what was going on. There's a whole lot of shit going on.
I've heard so many different things, but what it really boils down to is that, you know, again, he shouldn't be hurt or dead.
Should this be a high-profile case? Can I ask that question? I don't think that's too much to ask. Do you think this should be a high-profile case? You think they're treating it like a high-profile case? I don't think they are, personally. They're treating this like whatever. They don't really care. They're just trying to get somebody in trouble or just be done with it. I feel like that's how they're treating it now. I'm not seeing what they're doing in, you know, law enforcement and in the system. I'm not watching it every day to see what they're doing, but it just doesn't seem like they're doing a lot for this case specifically.
No.
Which is kind of scary to me, man.
Well, I don't know. I mean, again, like, it's so hard for, and I'm not an investigator.
Think about what happened
when
Nipsey Hussle died. Remember how crazy it got there as far as the police are looking for, you know, the person who killed him.
Right.
Now, I understand they have the person that killed King Von that's already been released, but it's the fact of, what are you doing now? What's going on? Is he bailed out? Is he gonna? What are we doing? We still having a case, or are we done? Or is he claiming self-defense? What are we doing with this?
Right.
I think it should be a little more high profile than what it is. Personally, you know, I know it's not in the media, but this shit is still going on, man. And this proves it right here with just what's going on, that it's still going on. So that was just why I had that question, because
I want to bring, and I'm glad you asked this question this way. If one of them was killed by a cop, it'd be high profile. It'd be all over. You see what I'm saying? Because if one of them was killed by a cop, regardless if they were right or wrong, if King Von had a shootout with a cop, it would have been a big ass deal.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying is, it's just this. And again, I'm not trying to be. What I'm saying is the media part.
That's what I'm saying too, though.
Because there was a couple of murders just here in Cincinnati, and I was thinking about it last night to bring it up today. I didn't research enough to do enough, but I do just want to say this because I wanted to talk to you about it. There were a couple murders here in Cincinnati just over the last couple of days that were just, you know, black on black, woman on woman, man on man, kid on kid, whatever, that people lost lives and they're just gonna go.
But that's my problem that I have too. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Us as a culture need to be just as thorough with our messaging and our cry to stop the death period of life.
Yeah, that's all understandable. But
because this is what happens is if we only yell when death by cop or death by white person happens, it drowns out the message and it saturates the real need right there, right?
Yeah.
Anytime somebody perishes, we need to have the same time, especially if it's a.
That's what I'm saying though. As far as the media,
did you see the video? And I'm gonna let you say.
Yeah,
so don't forget that. Did you see the video just yesterday? I saw it where a car was getting ready. It was in Philly. A car was coming off the street. Another car was driving by, and he like barely touches the bumper of this car. Then that car crashes. Long story short, like a dude from like right over here on the street runs up to the driver because the driver that was in the one car gets out and he's like, hey, basically like, is everything all right? And dude just shoots him, bang, 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 broad daylight. And then the guy that shoots him runs down to the car. Like I guess he knew the person in the other car. My point is the guy that got out of the car that kind of got hit, 19-year-old kid, lived there locally, had no beef with anybody, no problem. And they're still trying to figure out why the guy just randomly shot this dude.
Right.
The dude that shot him wasn't in the car accident, nothing. Like, it was just the most randomest thing.
Yeah.
My point is if I wouldn't have seen that on World Star, that's just vamoose.
And there's a million of those stories. And that's what I'm saying with this case too. I feel like that's what they're treating us like.
Yeah.
And that's my whole thing is a lot of these cases just get thrown away because they don't really feel
only
like
big because we made it big.
Right, we made it big
People
enough to
still
where
screaming that Nipsey
we made
shit.
it big enough to where they couldn't just throw this shit under the rug
Right.
and say I'm not going to investigate it. They had to do a whole lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Nipsey was also unique as well because
sure.
he was already in with the LAPD as well as just the community. And with the LAPD, I don't mean like in like snitching
I know what
shit.
you're saying.
I mean like he was in there like communicating with the gangs in the LAPD to try to come together.
Yeah.
But
and I think he was a bigger movement than King Von.
Yeah.
As a person,
older guy,
popular as
older
far
guy,
as
well established. King Von's young kid, wild shit. Not saying it is what it is, but that's my whole thing. Is like the police.
I was thinking about the Pop Smoke shit the other day. I said I think it was 4 or 5 people invaded his house.
Yeah,
killed him, and that was it. That all we got now is the fucking songs on the radio.
Yeah,
like what?
Yeah, it's wild, but that's my thing. It's like, and it's crazy you say that. I think they actually caught the kid today or something, or figured out why he did it.
I ain't seen it.
But you see how long that took?
Crazy, bro.
You would think if these are higher profile guys, more money and all this type of stuff, that they would at least get a little bit better treatment, Even though everybody
going to court be hired bigger than this.
Everybody deserves better treatment in the system, man.
Yeah,
even
sure.
Some of these people are real victims.
For sure.
So that's the only reason I say that. And I kind of went off a little bit there, but let's touch on this.
We had to have some type of something. You know what I mean? We had a whole show without it.
Yeah, let's touch on this next topic because this one's got a lengthy amount of things going on here, and that is Marvel, MCU Phase 4. They finally pretty much released the schedule for the movies, so we're back, and I think. What was the saying? We glad to see you in the movies or something like that. They had it in the actual video, but we have a full slate of movies here, brother.
Yep,
good movies, man. I think out of all these, I think Black Widow's the only one where they're gonna release it on Disney Plus, so you'll be able to see it on there. But you got Black Widow July 9th this year. You got Shang-Chi. It's not even Shang-Chi, it's Shang-Chung. That's how it's pronounced. Shang-Chung and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That is also this year, September. We have The Eternals, which is going to be a really good one. That's in November of this year. Spider-Man, No Way Home. That's the holidays, December 17th, 2021. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That's when we get into. That's the one I'm really waiting on.
I need some Doctor Strange in my life.
That's going to be March 25th, 2022. Thor, Love and Thunder, May 6th, 2022. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Oh, yeah. July 8th, 2022.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a really big one. Can't wait to see what they're going to do there. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Nah, the Marvels.
Excuse me. The Marvels, which is going to be another good one.
Mm-hmm.
November 11th, 2022. They got a whole load of movies that they got going.
This is dumb.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, February 17th. What is that? 2023?
2023, yeah.
Woo! Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3, May 5th, 2023. And then Fantastic Four, to round it all up, they don't have a date for it yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if that Fantastic Four don't bump up. Like, mess around and drop sooner than 2023. Because I
think that's what it builds up to, though, is the Fantastic Four.
I get you.
Maybe.
I get you.
I don't know.
It could. I know I've heard more and more talk of the Fantastic Four being redone.
You might be right, though. So, that might be somewhere in there. I don't know if that means it's going to at least be in 2023 because it says to be announced.
I think it's a teaser, man, with no date.
You might be right.
Being the only one with no date.
You might be right.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think that's the movie that puts everybody together.
I got you.
Because what's going to happen is all these you can read these just off this list and say they're going to do post-credit scenes for all these. Just look how many they can do, and it's going to build up to a movie. They know what they're doing, man. These guys are the best. That's why they're who they are and what they do. They're the best at what they do.
And I watched that first episode of Bad Batch the other day, and I am freaking hooked.
You watched what was it? It was like 72 minutes long or whatever.
Bruh.
Yeah, it was like a movie, the first episode. Yeah. You see those, like you see the animation and the graphics on that?
Stupid.
That shit look ridiculous.
This is what's so crazy, right? So I love cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I like Star Wars and everything else, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't know how I was gonna feel about, because I didn't watch the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
What's available now. I mean,
yeah.
So now I want to go back and watch all those now, which is a billion of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I just don't know how I feel about watching, because when I watch cartoons, I think silly and not immature, not funny, not serious.
Yeah.
I mean, and when I watch Star Wars, I'm like, this is super serious, whatever, right? When I watch this, bro, I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Like the graphics, the animation, it looks great. Obviously the content, but super able to follow along and I was hyped.
Yeah, it was dope. They dropped that first episode on May the 4th.
Yep.
Just dope. And I don't know if you know, they dropped the second episode yesterday. So episode 2 is already out.
Oh my God, the force is with me. Look, last night, bro, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, I wonder if it's another episode out. And I was like, nah. So I looked at my phone. I was like, the 4th was just Tuesday. I said, I ain't even gonna look. It'll be another Tuesday before it come out.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was another one out, man. Yoda was talking to me, bro. Hey, I'm about to, I'm watching that as soon as I get home, man. Because I told the kids, like, they didn't watch the first one. I was like, y'all gonna watch these with me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plenty of time to watch
both
of
cool,
those.
Man.
Yeah, so that what they're doing with that is going to be pretty dope. Now, I don't know if you know, because you said you didn't watch Clone Wars.
I didn't. So I know that I know that this is after the end of the war and Grievous.
Did you watch Rebels at all?
Nah.
You didn't watch Rebels?
Nope.
Because I was going to tell you
I'm
that
just
beginning
now
part,
trying to put all this stuff together.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of tie-ins, because you got to remember this is a specific point in time where a lot of shit is going on.
Now, I understand the movie part, right? So I've seen the movie, so
I
know the references of when the war was in the movies.
So this is going on during the part of the movie.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct. So I know when they had the Clone Wars, literally, it was... But no,
Order 66 and all that.
I haven't watched all of the other sub.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get there, man. Trying to get there.
Yeah, no, you'll get there, man.
I think I'm about to go hard and watch the Clone Wars, and then
that, or I say watch Rebels.
Watch Rebels first.
Rebels is really good too.
All right.
Yeah, they're all good, man. You know, you gotta remember, like, it's Dave Filoni. He knows this. It's kids this is animation is for kids, but he knows a lot of the people watching are adults, and if we're kids and are adults now that still continue to watch it, so they still put those things in there, man. And it's like I said, like we were saying, man, good animation, good quality, good graphics, good everything, man. I'm enjoying it so far.
Did you see the cool stuff that MLB did with May the 4th with the like lightsaber bats and stuff? Like they had a couple promos and commercials where like they had like Fernando Tatis like swinging his bat and like right when he's gonna hit it, it was like and like bro. Some of that
usually
stuff was
every May the 4th
sweet.
they do something down at the ballparks and stuff. I usually go and
a
stuff.
bunch of
So
Chewbacca's and shit.
They do the bobbleheads and all that. So it's always super cool to go, during that time.
And then Cinco de Mayo right after they do the Los Rojos and all that stuff, man. So that'd be cool as shit.
Oh yeah,
I
man,
love
it's
that, man.
super dope to see. Super
like
dope
that.
to do. Do you have while we're kind of still talking about it, do you have a movie that you're really interested as far as Marvel?
To see or that I've already
that just from that list. We'll talk about Star Wars too here in a second. Because I don't know, they haven't released their list at all yet. But
right. Man, you know what? The Black Widow I think will be cool.
You were saying Doctor Strange,
Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. Yeah, Doctor Strange.
I feel like you're gonna be in the theaters for all these because again, you have kids, and once it gets to that point, you can't see none of these except if you go in the theaters.
Right,
now.
right.
I know you're gonna be there for
Spider-Man for sure.
Spider-Man's probably gonna be the one your kids like the most.
Man,
I'm
yeah,
thinking,
I mean,
man.
Jalen,
Maybe Black Panther.
Yeah, for sure. Wifey gonna definitely want to see that.
Yep. Jalen saying Thor.
Thor, yeah, I like Thor. My son likes Ant-Man.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the sleeper.
They love Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yeah, that one. Excuse me, I can't forget that one. Because that's gonna be the one.
So it's really all of them, man. It's hard to.
I think Doctor Strange is gonna be the one that I know I really really want to see because that's when it's gonna get into that multiverse. Ooh, excuse me.
Doctor Strange is one of my favorite characters, but I love
that movie.
The
man.
movies are like his abilities are. And, like, my kids got the games and stuff, man, so I like Doctor Strange, bro. You mess somebody all the way up.
Yeah, Doctor Strange strong, bro. He crazy strong.
Yeah, be picking stuff up, slamming strong. People. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, and then probably Black Panther Wakanda Forever because, what's his name, man? I'm just having lost track of the director, Ryan Coogler.
Mm-hmm.
He already said he's already figured out how they're doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's already figured out. Mm-hmm. So that's telling me they're already shooting.
Yeah, because I think they said right after Chadwick passed away that they were going to use the girl that was his sister.
I think she should be Black Panther.
They were going to use her for some stuff and get her going, and I think everybody was.
Have you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Not all of it.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, so I need
what are you at the part though that you got to at least?
I'm barely into anything. So
okay, yeah, you gotta watch it so I can talk.
And that's another thing because I was like, man, I might have to just binge that real quick because that's not a whole lot of episodes.
Nope.
What was it, like 6 or 7, 8?
Yeah,
something like that.
Lengthy episodes though. I'm liking this now. We're getting out of that. We're pushing out of that 30-minute kind of joint. It's cool with the cartoons and stuff, but
I think WandaVision was so freaking crazy and like methodical and like you had to.
They treated that like a TV show.
You couldn't make that thing longer than what I mean. It was just because I kept going back like, why isn't this longer? It was just so crazy after you got through the whole season. Like, what the?
Yeah, but when you go through it, you're like, wow, this is good shit.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it was quality over quantity,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, they could have just filled in a bunch of stupid stuff and made it long as you want, but there was a lot of quality stuff in there.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
you said, these guys know what they're doing, man.
Oh yeah, man. You know, you got the Russo brothers, and then you got Kevin Feige, who's the head of all this shit, and he just knows what he's doing. He's just nice like that. That's why I can't wait till they let him do the Star Wars. They're gonna let him do a Star Wars movie. That shit is gonna be where it's at, man. Just telling you now. They hitting these all the right way, man. There's so much stuff they got lined up, man, that we just don't even know about yet. Speaking of which, while we're even talking about Star Wars, while we're just talking about it, let's talk about it, man. You know, when May the 4th, dropped, they start releasing more information about the parks and about that galactic ship that's going to be a hotel. And they released some of the renders of what it's going to look like. So when you walk in this bad boy, all the glass are windows, and you don't see outside. You see into space. Like, that's what it's like in the whole thing.
That's cool as fuck.
And they released the very first retractable lightsaber. You'll be able to buy it there. And I don't know if you've seen the video, but it's literally, it shoots up, and it's not like the one you flick up. You do this one, it goes up and it's light, and then you retract it and it comes back down. I don't know how they made this. I don't know how they did it. Brother, I seen the video. That shit looks real, and I definitely need one.
Yeah, I was
for
going to say,
sure.
if it's dope, I might have to get one.
They're
probably $3,000.
Yeah, man. Hey, they're making crazy money. They're doing – this is why Disney is so smart in what they're doing, is because you buy these playgrounds, these sandboxes, these intellectual properties, and you can build off of them. It's endless what they could do. They could do so many different things with this, and that's why they're doing this now, man. They got these rides. They got these video games, the comics. The comics connect to the rides. The comics connect to the actual amusement park. Comics connect to the video games. Video games connect to the actual story itself of Star Wars.
Books,
everything
the
connects.
toys, the merch.
Everything connects, bro.
Yeah.
And it's a wild time to be a fan of, any of these properties. Marvel, I don't know if you know their Marvel campus. You said you guys are going, y'all going.
We're going.
You said y'all not going down to West
we're not
End,
gonna
though.
go to the park.
Well, check this out. Well, don't tell your kids then, because they're opening. That campus is opening next month, I believe.
Got you.
So
man, we saw
you got all that too.
The Mario thing they did in Japan at Disney.
Nintendo World.
The Nintendo World.
Yeah,
that looks dope. So we watched the grand opening tour on YouTube, and it was freaking nuts. Dude, they did that shit right.
Yeah, they're doing one here, right?
What?
In Orlando. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they getting one.
Yeah.
Japan got the first one, and then Orlando. I think Orlando's the only other one that's gonna get it. So
see, when they did it in Japan, I was like, man, what they
oh yeah, I seen that. I was like, yeah, that shit's nutty.
Yeah, I'm about to call them like when y'all breaking ground.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need one of them ASAP.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they do that. We be down there.
Oh yeah, man.
My kids be
I'm telling you,
Mario,
what a time to be
Nintendo.
a kid, man. Like, there's so much stuff they're doing.
Man.
They didn't have Legoland when we were younger. They have Legoland now.
Lego was just getting started.
Now we were fortunate enough to have Kings Island here.
Oh,
a lot of people don't have a Kings Island.
For sure.
They'd have to go to like a Six Flags or Disney.
And our Kings Island was Paramount themed.
Yep.
So it was
just like a Universal Studios.
A themed park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you kind of like knew the movies and the rides,
man.
And that was cool.
People don't remember, like, we had that James Bond ride.
Yep.
That we had so many different rides. The
Tomb Raider ride, Face
all
Off,
that.
Drop Zone was even after the movie.
What was the one? The Italian Job from that movie.
Yep.
So much stuff, man. So much
stuff, bro.
shit.
We had all the Hanna-Barbera land stuff that was based off of like the Cartoon Network, Hanna-Barbera Brothers, the Hanna Brothers.
Yeah,
and all that stuff, the Flintstones and that stuff was real deal, man.
Yeah,
licensed shit.
Yeah.
Because when Paramount was bought out, or when Cedar Point took it over, Cedar Fairs, they had the same rides.
Why did they do that though?
I have no idea why Paramount did that.
I think do they Kings not Island, realize like how much more money you would make? I know they're making money. You know what I mean?
I think what happened was so
damn.
Because I was actually working there the year it crossed over is when I quit because of it. Like they got on some weird shit when Cedar Fairs came in, but I think Paramount owned two parks, Kings Island, and then there was Kings something in another state that was like Kings Island. And right around that time, man, there was a lot of stuff changing in the movie industry and everything else that Paramount was doing. I think Paramount was looking for, some capital. They had two parks. It wasn't like they had 50 of them. I think World Fairs or Cedar Fairs was able to offer them some cheese. Like, let me get both of those. And that was all she wrote, man. I think it was just a matter of kind of a business pivot and a move at the time. And, streaming was kind of becoming a thing. Netflix was coming out. Like Blockbuster was going out of the way. But that was all they really had, man. It wasn't like Paramount had a ton of parks all over now, they may have at one time.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But when this happened, I think they just had the two, Kings Island, and this other place was called King something.
Because there was a James Bond ride somewhere else just like ours. It was only other place. And I don't know if it was like a James Bond World Land or something else, and it was like in Indiana or something weird.
Yeah, this place wasn't far. It was East Coast.
So,
West Virginia, Indiana, Kentucky. Something.
I just find it interesting because that, like, I don't know how you don't think that wouldn't work. Now, back in the day, maybe they needed money for other movies and stuff like that. I get that.
Well, I don't know what maybe the theme park projection, like, for example, could have just been like, okay, we get these two parks.
It's in Ohio.
In the next 10 years, where do they go? Versus if we sold them, got this money, what could we put that into and get us, could have been just as simple as that. Maybe the theme park projection didn't look too.
Well, that's the thing you got to remember. You got a projection, but you're not open 365 because of the weather.
Right.
Even though they've changed things and there's only a certain time when they're not open, which is actually it's only a couple months. But when you got people coming in and out of places like Disneyland and Universal, that's 365 for everything they do. I could see why, but it's just like, damn. It's a shame they didn't keep doing that because the amount of things Paramount is doing now.
I'll tell you what's so crazy, man. So if you've been to Kings Island, you stand in line for a ride. There's like TV and stuff playing, right? They show little music videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Kings Island creates all of their own content there at Kings Island. They have a production studio. They shoot all of their own. Now, they have some people that have, like, they'll take submittals and they'll do little deals with other little, like, silly TV stuff, where they'll have, like, Fail Army or something. But what I'm saying is like, there's an actual site office where they have, like, people who are running, running different productions and playing different, films and whatever you call them. It's crazy, bro.
It used to be, it used to be a great time, man. I remember that, like, because if you remember back on, like, the little TVs in line back in the day, you remember all the things they were playing, their music videos from big artists.
They were, but they were doing that, like, they were making that, they were literally streaming that from there at the park. So, like, when you get on Outer Limits, how they had, like, the video of, like, the scientists and all that, like, oh, I don't know. They made that. Like, that was, like, it was crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. But that's because it was Paramount.
Oh, when they had those music videos and stuff, it was dope. They got popular for that.
That was Paramount, though. That it's a movie production company.
Cool, bro.
They could be able to do that, and that's why it's just, man, I'm just like, damn, it's a shame they couldn't figure all that out, man. They had so much good stuff in there. They could have made it. They could have expanded on it.
They have a partnership with Spectrum now.
Oh, they do?
Yep. Because I was just back up there a couple years ago with the guy I know from Spectrum. He was kind of like a regional guy here. Corey Blunt, Bearcat Corey Blunt, Dr. Baker, a few guys, man. We went up there and we were just doing some stuff. And, man, they're still running kind of a similar program where they're doing some of that stuff. But some Spectrum does something kind of neat with them, man. So it's crazy.
Yeah, interesting.
It's crazy.
Interesting.
A lot that goes into running a theme park.
Boy.
So
all right, let's get into our last topic. And that is our Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
Oh yeah. And this one, that's our special segment. This one is would you travel the world for free for a year or have $50,000 to spend however you please? Which one would you rather do, brother? This is a tough one.
Good one.
I try to think, like, all right, if I traveled in a year, how much would it cost? One.
Or how much traveling could you do in a year?
Yeah.
Simply
you could do a lot of traveling.
You could. However, there's some places I would like to stay for a month at a time.
Oof.
So just because, like,
yeah, you get worn out traveling that much.
Well, you do, but like, for example,
12 places. If you travel once a month, where would you?
Yeah, right. If I could spend a month, that's pretty solid. I can get the 12 mainstream places. Hit all the Chinas and the. Yeah, I mean, I Jalen just said, the $50K and invest, which I think would really be my choice. So if I really had to go on this, I would probably take the money, do something with the money to make that triple, quadruple. However, I do want to travel, and for free would be great. But I think I would take the cheese, try to make it a lot.
I don't know, man.
Cause there's some stuff going on right now to where I could take 50 grand and
oh yeah, for sure,
get some stuff popping.
For sure. I think I probably would take the 52. I'd still travel, but I'm just I don't really move around that crazy enough to really want that, you know what I mean?
The only thought in my head would be after 12 months of going 12 amazing places, I'd come back to the same exact lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah,
you'll come back to the same house, the same
take 50
life,
and try to get me up out of where
I'll
I'm at now.
I'll take $50,000,
somewhere else.
go buy me a couple rental properties, and 2 years from now, I'll be traveling wherever the hell I want anyway.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I'm seeing it.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I'm seeing it the same way.
But you better believe somebody was like, you just want a trip. Every month you go somewhere different.
There's some people that do that
I
too,
would be
man.
goner. Man, I got a ex-English teacher, Mrs. Hauk, man. Shout out to Miss Hauk. She retired, and, man, she travels the world, and she's been to some amazing places.
Because that's always like
she's taking
the
some
thing.
sweet
to retire
pictures.
and travel the world. How many people actually do it?
She's doing it right now, and she's done it in a way I've never seen.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, she's been
that's
to
how
Australia,
it should be, though, man.
she's
You
want to
go to all those places.
South America, Europe. She goes, and she's in like some villages. That's how I know she's doing it, because it's not like I went on a cruise and we were on a resort. She's in villages scooping up water with kids that ain't got no clothes on.
Yeah.
Like she really traveling. Like today we stayed in a hut. We ate berries. Yeah. Like the donkeys came up and took us to the village. Like,
But it's something also you have to think about as well is, we actually know people that they've never left the street they grew up on.
For sure.
You feel me?
Yep.
So, you have certain things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to think of that, and then to think of, would this person want to do this or want the money? I don't know, man, because there's some people that they've never been on a plane before. They've never been in a car longer than 20 minutes before. They've never been in a car. They've just only been on a bus, So I just think of things like that, and then I'm just like, wow. Like,
oh, no. We know what we would do with the cheese. And some people don't have a plan or an idea what they would do with the bread.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm not saying that this was one of those there's no real right or wrong answer on this.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
If you told me you would take the 12 months, I wouldn't say you was a dummy.
Because I bet you if you ask an older person, they might say I'm taking I'm traveling.
If he asked my grandmother, she'd be 12 months.
She's like,
somewhere.
what? I'm traveling.
She don't need the cheese.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. She's didn't get down the road and had lived a good life, and she would be like, man, let me just travel.
Yeah.
But for us, we could take 50 and change our lives.
Yeah, I'll travel later.
Yeah, we could change our lives.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
So, but that is a sweet would you rather, man.
Yeah. It's a kind of intriguing one when you think about it. Think about any of these we've done. Like, age really does have a certain perspective on it too, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's all about the person, all about I was telling my wife the other day something really crazy about me, kind of a cause and effect thing. Like, if something happened like this is what I'd do. Mm-hmm. And she was like, what? You would do that? And I was like, bruh. And she was like, that ain't you. And this, I said, no, that ain't me. And what you just described isn't typical situation.
Right.
I said, but I'll turn into Liam Neeson in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I will develop a unique set of skills, and I will find you. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, man, that's crazy. And I said, yeah, don't try me. Yeah. But it's just weird, man.
Certain instincts.
People, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the abilities. So.
Yeah, that's dope.
Would you rather?
Yeah, would you rather? Well, I think that's all we got today. For episode 51, man. Good episode. Good talk. Sure. Good talk as always.
Nice and positive.
Oh yeah, man. So we'll see everybody next Saturday for episode 52. Have a good weekend, good Saturday.
Again, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day again.
Yes, sir. And, shout out all the mothers.
Yep. Y'all be safe.
Right. Why do we run from the truth? Why do we chase lies? Why can't we love ourselves better? Why it feel good to me hurting you? I've been trying to get the words together. As me, I ain't the storm to be weathered. Made my flowers bloom and the petals never wither. My baby's gonna see everything I never did cause I couldn't. But one thing my pops taught me is find your peace and keep it pushing. Real good, no salt and pepper. I'm more seasoned than that. Hate me cause